Hi everyone, and welcome to Two-Player Quest, where I help you on your quest to find the best two-player board games for you. In today's video, I have Dungeons & Dragons Castle Ravenloft by Wizards of the Coast. In Castle Ravenloft, you are a group of adventurers, so you choose your hero and you explore the dungeons underneath the castle. You fight monsters, gain treasure and XP to win this game. But what is it like, and is it the right game for you? Let's explore! Castle Ravenloft is a game for 1 to 5 players that plays in about 60 minutes. It's at a 2.5 on Board Game Geek for complexity, so it's a relatively easy game, and it is a medium luck game. There is dice rolls, there are card draws that are random, so there is certainly some luck involved. This is what the board can look like at the start of basically Act 1, or should I say Scenario 1, of the game. So on the left here we have our tokens, we have the cards, we have player number 1, player number 2 at the bottom, we have our map, our healing surges, dungeon tiles, the dice that we need in a moment, the box on the right hand side for all the enemies that we may or may not have in this quest. Now here you can see one of the characters. This is the human ranger. Now every character has special abilities, certain powers you can choose. So here you have a deck of powers that you can choose from. These are the powers that this character chose. They got one treasure card, their HP and all their statistics. On your turn, you'll start with the hero phase. If you have 0 HP, you will need to turn around one of the hero healing surges, but that is not the case at this point. Then you can perform one of the following actions, or should I say you have technically 2 actions. You can only attack once. So you can choose to move then attack then move, or move twice. So movement is up to your speed, which is shown here. So this character has a movement speed of 6. You can currently see that there are no monsters on the board, so they move 1, 2, 3, 4, and that unfortunately is all they can do at this point. Next you go to the exploration phase, in which if the hero occupies a square adjacent to an unexplored edge, you draw a tile from the dungeon tiles, and you place it with the arrow pointing to where you entered. In this case there is a coffin. We take it that this means you place one of the coffin tokens on there. We haven't actually been able to find that in the rulebook, but I cannot find the coffin tokens at this point either, so you'd probably place a coffin token there. Maybe that's for a specific quest, a specific scenario, so we'll find that out at some point. From there, you place a monster on this thing of skulls. So you draw a monster, which in this case is a wolf. You take the wolf from the box and you place it on there. Then lastly, on a player's turn, you have the villain phase. So if you didn't take a tile to explore, or if you explored a black arrow and not a white arrow, you take an encounter card and do what it says. In this case, this is an environment. So if you roll 17 or higher in your dice, then the enemy gets 1 extra damage. I will place that there so that everybody knows that there's an environment in play. And then if there is a villain in play, which there isn't at this point, this is where they would activate. And now you activate all the monsters that are with your character. So if you open the door, you're the one who gets the monster. In this case, we have the wolf. And the wolf is not adjacent to our hero, but it is within 2 tiles. So it moves adjacent to the hero and attacks it with a pounce. So that has a +7. You grab your d20, you roll the dice. 15 plus 7 makes 23. Now, this character has an AC of 15, so that has been beat. So they take 1 damage and slowed. Slowed is a condition, you just place it by your character and they take 1 damage, so you turn that around. Now it is the next player's turn, so that would be the Dragonborn fighter over there. But for this explanation I will quickly skip their turn and go back to this player's turn. so that I can show you how to attack monsters. So in this case, we can choose to go back to the hero phase. We do an action. So we decide to attack with the hunter's shot, because that gives us +6 to hit. So the wolf, as you can see here, has an AC of 14 and it has 1 HP. So we have to hit 14. I rolled a 6 + 6, that's 12. That's not enough damage. I don't do any damage to this wolf. But I can decide to use my lucky charm. This is an item. After you roll any dice, re-roll the die. So I re-roll, and I now get a 9. 9 + 6 is 15. So 15 beats 14, so he would take 1 damage, meaning he is now dead. I would now claim this as experience, place it under my character, and I could now move, for example, here, to be able to explore again. And that is the basics of this game. You have 3 phases: the hero phase, the exploration phase, and the villain phase. The scenario will tell you what needs to be done, what needs to be reached, and how to reach it. If you have succeeded in that, then you have won that scenario. If you get to 0 HP and there are no more healing surges left, that's when you will have lost the game. Teaching this game to new players is relatively easy, though it will depend on their experience with board games and also specifically with D&D, as some of the terminologies will be a lot more familiar if you have experience with D&D than if you don't. In general, I would say 5 to 15 minutes, so you can get going quite quickly. If you're looking for a quick, simple, easy to bring to the table dungeon crawl that has some D&D essentials in it, then this could be quite good for you. Now, there's no narrative part in this game. It is all basically about the exploration of the dungeon and the combat, but if that's something you're looking for, then this could be quite good. Now, this is a part of a series, so you have several boxes like this that you can all integrate together. So you can make a very big game and have a lot of different scenarios if you add different boxes. But even in this one box, you have 13 scenarios that can be played, and they are very replayable, as the tiles are going to be very different and the monsters will be different as well. So in general, if you're looking for a simple dungeon crawler, this could be your gal or guy. So for us, this game is too simple and too short. It reminds me a lot of Dungeons of Doria, which is up here, which brings a nice amount of complexity, a nice amount of challenge, and it's just, for us, a better game. This game brings us no complexity, no challenge whatsoever. It was frankly quite boring for us to play. But it's good if you're getting into board games. It's good if you're going to get into exploration / dungeon delvers, because it is so simple. So for us, it's not the right fit because we are more experienced, but that doesn't mean it's not the right fit for you. If you are looking for a simple dungeon delver to, for example, play with pens who are less experienced, or you want to introduce people into the world of D&D, see if they like the mechanics of certain things, then this could be a good fit for you. It just isn't for us. Scaling wise, I would say that this game technically does get easier with more players. So every room you open, a monster appears. Sometimes in an encounter something else happens, but in general, every room you open, a single monster appears. Whether you're with 1 player or with 5 players, that just happens. So with 5 players, you technically have 4 more people that could kill that monster before it is your turn, making it easier. But you can also spread out further if you wanted to, so not necessarily making it easier, it's just different. Though I will say that as there is usually a sort of limited amount of tiles, or you're looking for a certain tile which is at a certain spot, if you are playing with 5 players, you will find that quicker than if you are playing it with the 2 of you. Scaling wise, I would say that this game gets easier with more players. As there are more turns in between your turns, the monster that spawns on your room in your turn of exploration is more likely to get killed before it is your turn again, and it can damage you. So I would say that makes it easier. It does make the game feel shorter because there are a certain amount of tiles that need to be drawn usually before you find the right tile and then you need to do something. So you feel like you have less actions with more players than you do when you have 2. So it's certainly very doable with more characters. It's also very doable with 2. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching our review of Castle Ravenloft. If you want to see another one of my reviews, you can click up here. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, you can put them down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time on 2 Player Quest.